Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited because I just got a package in the mail from Hush. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, Hush is an app, a makeup app. They pretty much just dupe palettes, they do highlighters, eyeshadow palettes. From what I understand, Hush is the name of the app. The brands that they sell can have different names. And the most popular one, and what I understand to be the best one, is called Bad Habit. So I got a couple of palettes from them. I've had a lot of issues with this company so far. So I put in an order weeks ago, maybe February 12th or so, and I had initially ordered the Rosé palette, which is supposed to be a dupe of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero glow kit. And I did that because I used to have this glow kit. I loved it, but unfortunately I needed the money, so I returned the palette and I didn't have it anymore. So I saw one for sale on Poshmark. I paid $40 for it, and when I got it, it's fake. So I tried to order another one on Poshmark. A week went by, she never shipped it. So Jesus Christ, man, I cannot get a hold of this palette. So I ordered the Rosé palette because I saw Manny MUA's review of this company, and he said it's pretty much a spot-on dupe. By the way, if you don't know, the Nicole Guerrero glow kit is canceled now. They don't make it anymore. So I tried to order it, and like a week goes by, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I go back to the Hush app, and it says charge failed. So for some reason they didn't run my card. I don't know if they were sold out of the palette or what, but they didn't run my card, and I never got an email. I never got any kind of notification. So I felt like that was kind of bullshit. I'm like, okay, well, if you're not gonna send me this, you could at least let me know. So I emailed the company. I was like, what's going on? Why did this happen? I didn't get an answer. After two or 3 days, I think I waited. So I reordered. They were sold out of the Rosé palette. So what I ended up ordering, I have a few things here. I got the Bad Habit Athena palette, which is a dupe of the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I've never used the Huda Beauty because I'm not spending $60 for anything that's not Natasha Denona. So I'm sorry if that's like shitty or whatever, but I was just never interested enough in that palette. I felt like I couldn't get enough looks out of it for me to spend so much money on it. But now that I have this one in front of me and I'm looking at it, I see a lot of looks in here. I just felt like anytime I saw people doing looks on Instagram with the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk, it was all like the same look. So anyway, I got that. And then I also got the Bad Habit Paradise highlighter kit. This is kind of weird. I don't know. Okay, so this is supposed to be a dupe of the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette, Pink Sand edition. But this is weird. I don't know if this is the same way with the Huda Beauty one, but this one right here is actually a cream. And then these guys are all powders. So I don't really know about that. Okay, so I just looked it up, and the Huda Beauty palette is actually the same way, where one is a cream and everything else is powder. I'm kind of bummed out that that one shade is a cream because that's like my favorite highlighter of the four, and I really don't like cream highlights. So, and then the last thing I got is the Bad Habit Supernova palette. This is a dupe of the Natasha Denona Lila palette, or Lila, I'm not sure how you say it. I also don't have that one, but I love Natasha Denona. I have a few of her 5-color palettes, so I am familiar with the, what's the word? What the word? Are you kidding me? This is just like a normal word and I can't think of it. Quality. Jesus Christ. I am familiar with the quality of Natasha Denona, so I should be able to compare this pretty easily. I mean, quality is quality. The thing about these palettes is, highlight palette is $10. The eyeshadow palettes are either 10 or 12. So if they're good, whether they're as good as Natasha Denona or as good as Huda Beauty, who gives a shit? That's what I think. Honestly, good is good, and makeup's makeup, and I don't really care if it has a brand name on it or not. In fact, not having a brand name on it, I'm like, okay, cool, cheaper, whatever. I'm good with that. I've swatched these already, and the fact that these companies can make these, like, I mean, these feel nice. These feel like real, you would find in Sephora makeup palettes. They're heavy, they have mirrors, they are really good quality from what I can tell, just from swatching a little bit. So yeah, like I said, Manny MUA said stick with Bad Habit, so that's what I did. I don't have YouTube money flying out my asshole, so I'm not gonna buy palettes that people are already saying are bad. I just want to do a couple looks with these, check it all out for myself, and I might have some palettes I'm gonna be working with for a little while, so that's pretty exciting. I am going to go ahead and take off my makeup because these eyelashes are kind of making me crazy right now. I can't wait to take them off, and I will come back and we will start going over everything. Okay, so I just wanted to add in here real quick, I have a couple of new things I've been using. The first is this Pacifica Crystal Power Spray. It was in with the skincare aisle at Ulta, but it's Hydro Mist, it says. Good for your skin and soul, plus get glowing. So I think it's just supposed to be moisturizing, but it smells amazing. Oh, it smells so good. I think they have like 5 different ones. The only thing I don't like is that there's like little crystals in the bottom. So when you go to shake it or anything, they like dank around in there and I don't like it. But I used it this morning for a primer actually, and I used it under the Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation, and when I filmed the intro to this, it was about 4 o'clock, so that's about 7 hours of wear, and it hadn't budged at all. So I'm pretty happy with that. For $11 to use that as a setting spray or a primer, pretty good. It's like a cheaper option than using what I usually use, which is the Caudalie Jason Wu spray. This one's not a setting spray, it's just like beauty elixir it says, but this one smells really good. The Pacifica one is only $11. The Caudalie one is like 40 or 50, so that's amazing. The other thing I've been using is the Olay Daily Facial Wipe. These are dry and you get them wet and you kind of like rub it together and it foams up. And the reason I like that is because I feel like makeup remover never really gets my makeup off, which I wash my face anyway, so it's like whatever, but with eye makeup and shit like that, it's just way more helpful. Okay, so I only have my base on right now, which is why I look absolutely horrifying. Oh my god. I don't normally do things in this order. I usually do my eyes first and then do my face, foundation and stuff afterward, but I don't know why I did this way. I guess I want to try out the highlighters first, so that's part of why. I'll just have to not look at my horrifying face right now. In this kit, you have Sunkissed, and I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all these as well. So here's Sunkissed. It's a beigey kind of highlight, and that's the cream one. And then you have White Sands, and that one's really intense and creamy. And then you have Resting Beach Face, which is a golden highlight. Also super intense and super creamy. I mean, holy shit, these are intense. And then last you have Mai Tai, which is more of like a blush shade. This one kind of reminds me of the Becca Chrissy Teigen palette. Okay, so there's Mai Tai. And voila, so those are really pretty. Okay, so I am going to spray my face one more time real quick, just because highlights go on a little bit better when your face is wet. I can't get over how absolutely horrifying I look right now. Okay, so I'm gonna take the e.l.f. highlighting brush and I'm gonna clean that off. I'm gonna be using this the whole time, by the way, if I'm switching colors. This is just a Daylogic color switch that I got it writing. I'm not sure what to do. You know what? I'm actually gonna take the shade Sunkissed because I'm really curious about this. And I'm gonna pat that on this side. Okay, that's so pretty. That actually looks like a really wet highlight. And just blend it out. Okay, so it's like a little more subtle, but you can see the difference there. I like it. I kind of want to see what this is like on the Cupid's bow. Yeah, this is like the perfect shade. If you don't want like a stripe of color on your face or whatever, this is awesome. Plus when you blend it out, it doesn't like blend away. Okay, yeah, I really like that one. And on this side, I'm gonna take White Sands. That right here. I already know I don't like this one as much. I really don't like these white highlights with like a yellow cast to them. I feel like it makes me look dead. Almost too intense. It's almost kind of pigmented like an eyeshadow. Like you can see a pretty clear line. I mean, I guess if you like this kind of color, it probably would be good, but I just don't. And then on this side, I'm gonna layer Resting Beach Face. I'm gonna layer that over top of this one just because this one's so subtle. I don't think it will affect the color that much. Damn, these are intense. Okay, that one's pretty too. Okay. I also want to try out the blush. So I'm gonna take my e.l.f. blush brush and I'm gonna take that into Mai Tai. Yeah, dude, I I dig this palette. This is awesome. That blush shade's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to throw on some bronzer and some eyebrows, and then I will come back and we will check out the eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I'm actually going to do one palette per eye. So I'm gonna start with my right eye, and I'm gonna actually use the Supernova palette, which again is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Lila palette. I think I'm gonna do a different style on each eye, so I might do a halo eye on one and regular schmegular on the other. This one is mostly shimmers though. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and swatch these. So first we have Serious. Kind of like a white with a pink purple shift. Then next we have Red Giant. Brilliance. Solar. And this is a matte shade. This is Interstellar. So here's those. And that purple actually did not stain my hand. I thought it would, but it didn't. On the next row down we have Ursa, Shimmery Olive, Andromeda, Nebula. These are super soft. Cosmos. And Zenith, which is another matte. There's those 5. On this last row we have Lunar, which is a matte. Spirit. Aurora. That one's really interesting. Flare. And Celestial is the last one. Okay, so here's the last 5. I really like Lunar and whatever the one next to it's called. They're so pretty. Okay, so I'm taking a fluffy crease brush. This one's by Daylogic. I'm gonna go into the shade Zenith, that matte shade, and I'm just gonna put that all over the crease. I just grabbed Lunar on accident, so we're just gonna go with it. It kind of blends out into like a purpley taupe, which is strange because in the palette, I guess it's a little mauvey. I'm really curious about so many of these shades. I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna do something weird, and if it's ugly, oh well, I'm taking it off anyways. So I'm going to take the shade Red Giant, and I'm going to take just a small little blending brush, and I'm going to put this on the inner and outer corners. Okay, that just kind of like blended away into a matte. That's really weird. If you can see the difference in texture. On the outer corner it's pretty much matte, and the inner corner it's a shimmer. Also, I'm getting a pretty good amount of fallout. And I'm just gonna blend this up. Okay, so it seems like that time the shimmer actually stuck, so I'm not sure what I did wrong. I want this to have a little more color to it, so I'm going to take the shade Nebula on the same small brush, and I'm gonna put this closer to the center here. I'm still gonna leave the very center open. Then I'm gonna take the shade Andromeda, which is that bluish shade, and I'm gonna put that on the outermost edge here. And then go back into Red Giant and blend the two. Then I'm gonna take that crease brush into Red Giant and just lightly buff that into the crease. And up a bit. Then I'm gonna clean off that same brush and blend out the edges. Okay, this next move might be a mistake, but I'm really want to do this. So I'm going to take a flat concealer brush and some concealer. And I'm going to do one of those like sunrise type of deals that people do in the center of their eyes with the concealer. I'm not very good at halo eyes, by the way. Then I'm going to take a packing brush. This one's from the ABH Soft Glam palette. And I'm going to take that into the shade Serious. And fill in where I just put that concealer. And take that small side of the brush again, and I'm gonna dip that into Nebula, the pink shade, and get back some of that blend. This is why halo eyes are a pain in the ass. And I'm just going to take my finger into Serious. About this is a brow bone and inner corner shade. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, this is such a gorgeous color. Alright, for the lower lash line, I'm gonna build up the color kind of the same way. So I'm gonna take Nebula, the pink one, and throw this down first. Then Red Giant. And then I'm just going to take Andromeda in the outer corner and the inner corner. And I'm going to take that same packing brush from the Anastasia palette and go into Serious. So the top matches the bottom, and we have a true halo eye. But I want to brighten up that pink a little, so taking the other side of the Anastasia brush into the pink and then into Red Giant. And smoking it out. There is a lot of fallout when you're working with this one, by the way. And I'm gonna bring Serious over slightly. So I don't look cockeyed more than I already am. And I don't wanna do liner with this. I don't wanna do liquid liner. Hopefully this is about the same purple because it's the only purple I have. I'm gonna take the Lancome Drama Liqui-pencil. I'm gonna throw this into the waterline. Yeah, it's a perfect purple for that. And then I'm just gonna throw on some mascara. Okay, so here's the final result with that palette. This is pretty fucking sweet for a $10 or $12 palette. That pigment is intense. The shimmer is gorgeous. The highlight is gorgeous. And I just like the shades in this palette. I know it's not, they didn't make their own or whatever, but the shades in this palette are incredible. Amazing. I feel like there are endless looks you could do with this one. It's so cool. Really the only negative to that palette is the fallout, but I usually do my eye makeup first anyway, so I personally don't care about that. You shouldn't care about that for $10 either, so just saying. Makes me feel like I'm good at halo eyes. Now I want to try out this Athena palette, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. First shade is Fierce. I cannot get over how buttery these are. Next shade is Triumph. That one's kind of like a light olive. Valor, Purity, Truth, Heroic. So here's those up close. Next there is Gleam. This one looks like a duochrome. Yep. Epic, Medusa, Justice. That one looks like it might be a little patchy. Lore, Power. That one's super soft. Divine, Cunning. God, these look so different than they do in the pan just because they're all duochrome. Wisdom, Prize. Then we have Daring, and this one's a straight up glitter. Like, that's a glitter, but a lot comes out when you pick it up, so it's not gonna swatch very well. Okay, just kidding. And the last shade is Clever. God, look at that fucking glitter. Okay, so I'm gonna take my crease brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Heroic. And I'm just gonna start buffing this one out into the crease. Okay, this one kind of comes off a little more pink than I thought it would. Not pink, but I don't know, it's kind of weird. Maybe a little more red than I thought. And this one is kind of giving me a hard time blending in this corner. It just blends a little strangely, kind of shears itself out. Then I'm going to take the shade Power, which is the red one on the end, and I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. Okay, so it's kind of doing the weird thing that the Subculture palette does, where the color is creating this weird line and almost oxidizing when you put it down, and I think that that's because of that dark orange shade. I'm gonna just keep moving. Okay, so I'm gonna try and attempt something. So I'm gonna take that concealer and the flat concealer brush again, but I'm gonna use the clean side. And I'm gonna try and kind of carve out a wing here, but we'll see what I can manage to do. So far so good. This is my stupid eye, which basically means that this one has 2 folds in it, whereas this one has 1. You can kind of see where that overlaps right there. I don't know if that's because of my piercing or what, but this eye gives me so many issues when I do my makeup. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted. Now I'm gonna take a flat shader brush and I'm gonna dip it into the shade Daring, which is that really cool glitter shade right there. I'm gonna start packing this onto the lid. Anywhere that I just carved out that concealer. And this is sticking really well considering the fact that I'm not using a spray or a glitter glue. I'm just laying it on top of that concealer. So that's pretty cool. I went a little high with the concealer, but I think when my eye is just kind of like laying normal, it looks fine. Now I'm gonna take an angled liner brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Clever right here, and I'm gonna start putting this on the outer corner. And kind of filling this concealer in there. Okay, now I'm gonna clean off that concealer brush and use that to clean this line up. And then I'm gonna clean off that angled brush and blend this up slightly. Then I'm gonna take some fresh concealer on the concealer brush just because I had a little bit of red left over on it, and I'm gonna clean that line up even better. Now I'm gonna throw some liquid liner on off camera. Actually, you know what, real quick, I'm gonna take that blender brush I used for the red and just buff this guy. Just a little bit more blended out there. Let me throw on some liquid eyeliner and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my eyeliner on. I'm just gonna throw on a bit in the waterline here. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On. And I'm going to take the shade Heroic again, that orange. And run it along the lash line. And I'll be taking Power Red. And I'm gonna smoke this shade out a bit. Now taking a flat packing brush, I'm going into Daring and then popping a bit of that on the inner corner here. Under the lash line, so not the actual inner corner. Although, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do a bit of that too. That looks like shit. I should not have done that. And then go back with this and take that across the liner here. So we have a bit of a shadow. Okay, let me throw on some mascara and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so here's the final look from the Athena palette. Oh, you guys, these are just amazing palettes. First of all, I never do makeup this cool or exciting. And the fact that these cost $10 or $12, I mean, holy shit, man. I 100% recommend everything that I use today. The highlighters are gorgeous, especially, oh my god, look at that one. That is Resting Beach Face. This was White Sands or whatever it's called. And I went ahead and put a little bit of that beige one on my nose and lips and whatever. Yeah, I'm completely in love with these. I have a feeling I'm going to be using these for the next week, back to back to back, which I don't do with anything. Honestly, unless you have either of those two palettes, like the real ones, buy these. The only reason I would say don't get it is if you have the real ones. If you don't have them, get it. Like, honestly, don't even bother with the fucking... It's so nice that, like, you know, I don't make a ton of money, but I really like the difference having high quality makeup makes. But sometimes that's not always possible. I can't buy and keep up with every single palette. The reason everybody has these expectations on themselves is because these beauty gurus have access to everything and you feel like you should too. You know, if you want to be able to create their look, well, you have to have what they're using, and it's just impossible. So this app, just for that purpose, is amazing. They have so many dupes of so many palettes. They have Subculture, they have Modern Renaissance, which I just got, by the way, and I'm really excited. There's a lot of really good dupes on there. Stay away from the other companies, just stick to Bad Habit. I honestly wish that they would just make their own damn line and just make their own palettes and not have copies or exact copies of other companies, because these eyeshadows are such a good formula. I wish that they would just do their own thing and have their own colors, you know. Clearly they're capable of making good makeup, so if I ever find out that they do make their own palettes and that aren't dupe palettes, I will 100% buy them. I'll buy anything this company makes. Like, that's seriously how good these are. So the only differences I really noticed between the two palettes is quite a bit more fallout with the Supernova palette. That one had quite a bit more fallout. It could have been because I was working with shimmers on this side, whereas I was working with more mattes on this side, but I didn't notice very much fallout on this side. However, I did notice the darker mattes didn't blend quite as good on that side. So that's just something you keep in mind if you're trying to choose which one. They also have both of the Huda Beauty palettes. They have the Desert Dusk and whatever the other one's called. So I will definitely be ordering the other one. They also have dupes for both of her highlight palettes as well. I'm gonna say, aside from how annoying the ordering process was, everything else about this is totally legit and awesome, and I would absolutely recommend that you try it if you've ever been curious about it, or if you want to try any of these palettes or you love the shades or whatever. It's awesome, honestly. I don't know if they're the exact same, probably not. The quality's probably not as high as Natasha Denona, I'm gonna say, but it's damn close. It's good for a $10 palette. That's like Wet n Wild price, come on. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you liked the kind of more exciting looks that I did today. But I usually don't go this crazy and overboard. But if you liked them, make sure you let me know. If you want to see more tutorials, let me know. If there's anything else you want me to review, let me know. Smile Sciences ended up reaching out to me and telling me they wanted to send me some stuff. They didn't really say anything. They're not paying me. They didn't give me a promo code or anything that I know of. So I think they're sending me like some pens, like whitening pens or something. I'll probably have another video on that coming up soon. They just said they liked my review and how honest it was, and they wanted to send me some more stuff to review. So I will probably do that. I don't know if you guys care about that stuff or not, but I really like them. I think they're a good company, so that'll be coming soon. Anyways, if you like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. And if you don't want to miss anything, hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. Leave me some feedback. Let me know what you think, if you're going to be getting one of these palettes, because you totally should. No matter what your level of makeup is, you should totally get one of these. They're awesome. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.